This little girl was bullying this man's son, and the girl, apparently, I'm just giving an estimate, she appeared to be like 11 years old, 12 years old, maybe 13. And then the kid that was being bullied, he was a lot younger, super younger. And when I saw this video, I thought the majority of the people were going to be reacting a specific way. But when I saw the comments, it was the total opposite.
That's for my son. You can't say. You can't say that one to my son, okay?
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, I don't know if you heard that. Somebody said, call the cops right now. And so what are your thoughts with that? When you watched this initially, what were your thoughts?
Initially,
Okay, so apparently this guy, this teen, he had just left a mental health facility. And this is when this case happened, or this scenario happened, incident happened.
Police say 24-year-old Richard Leyva killed his mom and then put her body in the trunk of a car.
Jameson was just such a great person. She always a smile.
Karen Saunders just saw Jameson last week, and they talked about her struggles with Richard and his mental health.
I kind of wish I hadn't said to her, you know, all we can do is keep trying. Maybe I should have told her, don't try.
yes, I heard she was getting bullied by the kids in school. And they were telling her that her parents were going to get deported and she was going to stay here by herself. And me being in like a similar situation, it's really sad and heartbreaking.
Yeah.
An 11-year-old girl has tragically taken her own life after being bullied at school over her family's immigration status.
sad.
Jocelyn Rojo Carranza was found unresponsive at home and passed away 5 days later. Her mother claimed that students at her Texas school mocked her and even threatened to call the immigration to take her parents away.
Oh my God.
11 years old, dude. That's so sad, dude.
But at the same time, look what happened with the little girl that committed suicide.
Yeah.
So if the dad doesn't do anything about it, she's going to keep bullying the little kid.
Yeah.
And you don't want him to
True.
end up taking his life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what the comments were saying.
There's another video that Chris sent me.
Uh-huh.
I think the kid was bullying another kid that had old shoes.
Oh, really?
So the dad, I don't know if he made the kid like give him like all his like his shoes that he had.
Yeah.
And he made him wear like some cheap ones.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah.
So the kid that was bullying another kid made him wear some older shoes?
No. The kid that had a whole bunch of like Nike or brand shoes, was bullying some kid that didn't wear any brand shoes.
Right.
So his dad found out, the dad with the brand.
Yeah.
He found out, so he made his son like get rid of all his shoes and made him wear some regular shoes. Like
I think that's being a good dad.
Yeah.
Right? Because what are your thoughts with that? Do you think that's good?
I think that's good.
Yeah, because that's teaching his son a lesson. Like, hey, you know what? Just because you're fortunate enough to have good shoes and all that, you can't be like bullying or making fun of anybody else that doesn't have the same fortune as you.
Yeah. They don't realize how lucky they are.
Yeah. All right, ready, Joanna?
Okay. Do you want me to find that video?
Yeah, you can if you want.
Okay.
All right, so welcome back to Nomas podcast. We're recording, by the way, so I'm gonna leave that in. Welcome back to Nomas podcast. This is gonna be, I believe, it's gonna be episode 108. It should be in the title, but once again, we have Joanna here joining us.
Hi.
Welcome, Joanna. So today, it's gonna be one of those episodes that it's just one of those TikToks that I guess it became somewhat viral, and it just has to deal with a lot of different styles of parenting And yeah, it just caught my attention because Joanna, well, obviously you have kids, and I'm a new parent myself. And when I first saw these videos that went viral, I was kind of skeptical to see why or what people were saying in the comment sections. And to be honest with you, I was pretty surprised with the comment section. But we're going to get into that in a little bit. And for right now, we'll get this started.
Are you ready? Welcome to Hoy Nomas podcast with Angel Houseman
And JoJo say.
So what are your thoughts right now, Joanna, with the style of parenting at the current moment in comparison to the past, to your age? You're how old? Like 40 what?
45. Around there.
Yeah. So what are your current thoughts with what you see now? Because also you have your kids at school. So do you see different styles of parenting based on like conversations with maybe other parents or your kids or anything like that? What are your thoughts?
I don't think kids are getting disciplined the way we used to get disciplined.
And what's the difference?
I mean, my parents would ground me. Sometimes they would hit me.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
But I feel kids these days are very soft. Like they're very sensitive.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. In what sense? Because that I get it though. They're sensitive, but then at the same time, a lot of kids now are very disrespectful.
For the same reason that they're not getting disciplined as we got disciplined.
Okay.
Because now, if you hit your kids, now they're trying to call the police on you.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, kids need to get disciplined. That's why they're the way they are right now.
So I wonder why before, like you said right now, if some kid gets like yelled at or gets hit by their parent because they're trying to like, teach them a lesson, you said like, oh, they'll call them. But back in the days, I wonder why they wouldn't call the cops.
Because we would get our ass kicked.
Yeah, I guess they were so scared, like, fuck that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because my mom would be like, ya la policía, like, I don't care.
That's true.
Te voy a chingar otra vez.
Yeah, that's true. O te voy a pegar para que ahora sí llores
Right,
con
yeah,
ganas.
para que te duela.
Yeah. And then they would say like, oh, me duele más a mí pegarte que a ti.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing when it comes down to La Chancla. That's why it became like almost like a meme.
Famous.
Yeah, like because it was so used back in the days.
Yeah.
Do you think that's still applicable with like moms nowadays? Or you feel
I do.
You do? Really?
I mean, I don't hit my kids. My kids are not bad. But sometimes like I'm going to hit you with this.
Do you actually do it?
No.
I'll edit this out.
No.
Okay, where are you getting red?
No. I mean, I ground my kids. I think que les duele más que no jueguen like Xbox or for me not to take them out.
Yeah.
But I mean, every kid is different.
Yeah.
Like with Natalie, I will take the iPad away. With Angel, is no boxing. That hurts him more. So
yeah, and it's pretty much things that they enjoy doing that they're no longer able to do.
Yes.
That's true. That's a good point. Sorry. One of the cameras freaking cord fell down, so I had to restart it. Yeah, I had to connect it. But anyways, what I was saying, so it's pretty much taking something away that they enjoy doing that they no longer can do. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, and I was about to say this now, I remember. That it gets me now that I'm a parent, especially for a little girl, right? That my daughter, at one point, she's going to have to face the real world, right? Like going to school, dealing with people out in the public. And I start thinking about like all these different things. Like, man, I for sure want to teach her some sort of like self-defense, just so she can build her confidence up, right? Maybe getting her in some sort of classes and to know that she's able to defend herself, not actually doing it for her to like actually
like be a bully.
Yeah. But just to know that she has the confidence enough that if there's a case that she needs to defend herself, she has the confidence and the ability to do so.
Yeah.
Because the real world is freaking harsh, dude.
I mean,
Or what are your thoughts?
Especially now, you hear about bullying a lot in schools.
Yeah.
But I also feel kids are very sensitive because back in my day, back in my day,
Está bien ruca.
we would make fun of everyone, you know? But we wouldn't hear a lot about like kids committing suicide or needing counseling or getting depressed. I think like we
Dude, that's a good point. So, okay, now I get it when you say that kids nowadays are a little softer from back in the days. Because even back in the days, even your own family would freaking clown on you.
I still clown my kids.
Oh, so you clown your kids. But in a sense, it gets you prepared for the real world, right? Because you had your cousins, your tios, and all of that everybody would be clowning on each other. So it becomes a norm for you to be ready, like for a comeback, right? You had to.
Yeah.
And you almost had to build some sort of like a comeback ready, because I'm like, si voy a ir con esta gente, like if I go with these people, I have to be ready, like to throw something back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, you're right. So back in the days, it was just a whole different lifestyle. Yeah. So, and what do you think about that style versus now, though?
I mean, I think each like family is different.
Yeah.
I make fun of my kids, and my kids they're not sensitive.
Yeah.
So when they go to school and they make fun of them, they're like, whatever.
Yeah. But then also one of your son boxes too. So I think that's a huge plus.
Well, when he started, remember I told you that some kid slapped him and my son punched him and made him cry. So he defended himself. But he knows that he can't be bullying anyone. That's what I always tell him. Like, you can't be bullying kids.
But then it was at school. This happened at school, right? But then it was your son that got in trouble, right? Or both of the kids got in trouble?
Both of the kids, but the lady that called me, she made sure to mention that my son didn't start anything.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's good. Because at times people that defend themselves end up being the ones that get accused of being the abuser.
Yeah.
At least it's happened a couple of times.
Also, like in Mexican families, like my mom would tell me, si te pegan, pégales. Y si no te pegas, yo te voy a chingar a ti.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like, hey, y si te gano algo, yo te voy a pegar.
Yeah.
So, but going back to that, it's like your family would prepare you to the real world.
Yeah.
Like,
especially Mexican families.
That's true. That's very, very true. Huh. Yeah. But you think that's still going on right now? I don't think it's as...
that's what I tell my kids. I make sure to tell them.
Oh, but you come from that like age and time. Sorry, we have like this ongoing joke that Joanna's like pretty much like
50,
like a doña, you know. Yeah, which you are. You technically are.
Oh, I hate when they like call me señora.
Why? Oh, you know when somebody like calls you like la señora, hi sir, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh fuck, like now I'm that guy, you know. But yeah, dude, like for sure times are way different now in comparison to back in the days. And I don't know, I think I just started thinking about all these different things because I see the world a little bit different now that I have a daughter. Yeah, dude,
and like you wouldn't want anybody to be bullying her.
No.
So you got to talk to her too, because I talk to my kids. I make sure I talk to my kids and they understand that they're not supposed to be bullying other kids.
Yeah. And what do they tell you? Like from a kid's perspective, do they understand it? Do they almost feel like, oh mom, like you're gonna tell me this type of things again? Or
they understand it. Yeah. But my son, he's like, if somebody's telling me something, I'm gonna tell them something back. Okay. But there's this kid in their school, in their class. And I guess the kid is always talking crap in the class. Really? And so I dropped them off this morning when they were going to school. And the kid was there and he was opening the door because, you don't know. But when I drop off the kids in the morning, the kids are opening the door so they can just walk out because now they don't let parents inside the school.
What the heck?
Yeah.
What do you mean? So like the gate to the school?
Yeah. So now you just drive up to the entrance And then some kids like volunteers are opening the doors for the kids.
So parents are not allowed to go into the school? Mm-hmm. What the heck?
Yeah, ever since COVID happened.
Huh. So what's the rationale or what's the point with that?
I don't know.
What? Mm-hmm. So you can't go up to like the kids' classroom?
Inside the school.
What the heck?
Mm-hmm. So now you just drop them off. You just drive up and drop them off in the front.
Wait, so it was different before?
Before you could walk inside with them. And before they used to walk around like the field and you could walk with them. Now you can't do that. And you just drop them off in the front.
Okay, but this is only for middle school.
No, they're in the elementary.
Elementary. Okay, but I think in elementary, from what I remember, you could even like walk them into like the class almost, right? And like say hi to the teacher or something like that. No? Am I tripping?
Not now.
Okay.
At least not that school.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah. But anyways,
yeah.
So there was this kid that they don't like. He opened the door for them, like both of them.
Yeah.
And the kid was like, "Good morning, Angel, Natalie." They just walked away. Like they didn't even say good morning.
Right.
So when they got home, I was like, "Hey, like that kid was talking to you. Why didn't you say good morning?" And Angel's like, "Mom, like he talks so much crap in the class. Like he tries to bully people. Like we don't like him." So now I'm like, okay. But I mean, it's kind of rude when somebody tells you good morning and you don't say good morning.
Right. But maybe they just don't want any sort of like communication with this kid, right?
That's what I think.
But you see, okay, for example, this kid, right? He talks a lot of smack in class or whatnot, but how come nobody's taking any action to that, like the school or the teacher?
Angel punched that kid.
Oh, it's the same kid.
Yes.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's one of the kids because Angel punched two of the kids in school, but it was
God damn. Dude, your son's out there punching everybody, man.
No, but it's because they were bothering him.
Okay.
It was self-defense.
Quick reminder, we now have a call-in number where you guys can leave us voice messages, video calls. Let us know a story you would want us to share on the podcast, anything you want. The goal is being able to interact with the people that support the channel. Even if you're looking for love, we will find your true love on Nomas podcast. Also, for anyone that is interested on creating your own channel, we have our Amazon storefront linked in the description where you can find all the cameras we use, the microphones, the lights, the equipment where all of our podcasts are recorded to. If you need any help with editing services, we are able to produce your entire podcast, edit your short form content from Instagram Reels, TikToks, etc. You can look at all of our content as reference and we got you covered. And finally, if you want to support the channel, you can leave us a super thanks down below, which will help us tremendously, and we'll make sure to highlight that comment on the upcoming podcast and give you a shout out. Now back to the podcast. Okay. Yeah. Once again, I think freaking boxing and all that, like I think kids should know how to defend themselves. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Does your daughter do any sort of like activity like that?
Well, she was boxing. Now she just boxes at home with Angel.
Oh, okay, that's good.
She's training at home with Angel.
Plus, it helps that she has an older brother.
Yeah,
to like teach her. Yeah.
But now next year he's gonna go to middle school, so she's kind of bummed.
Oh, really? Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what'd she tell you?
That she's gonna be by herself in elementary.
Dude, that's kind of cool that both of them like went to the same school together.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see all those different thoughts are new to me, and I had never really thought about those things.
That's why I told you. I was like, how long are you gonna wait to have another one?
Yeah, dude. It's just one of those things, dude. Like, especially, well, obviously, like I was raised an only child, so all these thoughts never really came to me, especially me being a guy. But now it's like, oh man, I have a daughter. You know what I mean? And as a father, you want to be like almost extra protective.
Yeah.
But
so what are your thoughts about having another one?
But that's the thing. Well, what if like?
How did you feel when you were young?
I felt lonely. I felt good, just because back in the days too, all kids and all the teenagers would be playing outside. You know, like skateboarding, and all of us would meet like in the corner of the block, and we would all just hang around there, like either skateboarding, playing football in the middle of the street, and yeah, I mean. Where I lived at, there was a bunch of crews and like gangs and stuff. So the majority of them were like in crews. I was never into that, but I was hanging around with them, you know. Mm-hmm. But it was a whole different lifestyle. So there was always some sort of activity happening there.
I was always outside with the boys playing soccer, canicas, tazos.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny.
But it's true because
dude,
nobody plays outside anymore.
I was going to say that nobody really plays tazos anymore. Canicas. Crazy.
And trompo. And yo-yo.
So you played all of that, dude?
Yeah, I did.
So you would do like, ¿cómo se llaman las cuartas? So when, you know, con las canicas.
Oh, yeah, que le hacías
Yeah.
así con yeah.
Well, yeah, no wonder your hands are like todas madreadas.
Shut up.
Los dedos
I'll be like,
like sandpaper. Yeah, dude. I think those were the good old days.
yeah,
Because nowadays, what, like they just play video games?
boring.
Well, I used to play.
We had Super Nintendo.
I was gonna say that we used to play video games too, but we used to do a lot of outside activities. Yeah.
Especially with my mom. My mom always liked to be outside. We would go to the park, play volleyball, or jugamos con la cuerda.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously, like I was saying, it was just, I don't know, dude. Like it just gets me thinking. Oh, but going back to your point about me having another kid or whatnot, who knows? Only God knows, right? But then I think about it. What if I have another daughter? So I'm like, oh man, they're like double the worry of having two daughters now. Not that I care, right? Because at the end of the day, I want just another healthy baby. If God
So you want more?
if God blesses us, honestly, like
Okay.
even just having our current daughter right now, it's such a blessing, right? Just going after miscarriage and all that, just having a healthy baby,
Yeah.
it's such a blessing, and I'm more than thankful. But if we were to have another baby, then it would be another blessing. But then I think about it, if we have another daughter, then it's like, oh man, I'm just gonna be so worried twice as much.
Yeah.
But I guess now it's two of them that they can look out after each other, I guess.
Well, me having 3, there's an like a 8-year age gap
Yeah.
between my daughter and my son, and then Natalie and Angel are like a year and 5 months, I think. So they're really close.
Yeah.
And they play with each other, and
Yeah.
the bond that they have is so different from the older one and Angel.
Okay. Did you have a similar upbringing like them, like being close with your sibling?
My sister and I are 4 years apart, but I don't feel we were close. I think she was closer to my brother because they were also a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, age difference.
So you seeing both of your kids like being like super close to each other, it must be super nice, right?
Yeah, especially Angel. The way Angel takes care of Natalie, and he's a boy too, so it's nice how he treats her.
Yeah. But it's cool that he's older, you know. I think that's like everybody's vision to have the boy first and then the daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Only God knows if we're gonna be blessed with another one. For now, I'm just super happy for like having my first daughter. But yeah, it gets me like thinking of all these different situations and things I see online, and the world is tough, man. The world is
crazy.
tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it a lot
scary.
of it is scary, but a lot of it has to do with talking to them at home and telling them and teaching them things, and like, hey, if something happens, you should do this, or talk to me, tell so and so. A lot of it has to do with the way you raise your kids, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily that it's 100% that they're gonna act on everything you tell them, but at least you're doing your part. But yeah, you're okay. But yeah, anyways, so the first video that I wanted to react to, that just literally I just saw it like right before we started doing the podcast. It's pretty much a girl's this little girl was bullying this man's son, and the girl, apparently, I'm just giving an estimate, she appeared to be like 11 years old, 12 years old, maybe 13. Do you think so? Around that age?
Yeah, she looks older than the little kid.
Yeah, she was around that age. And then the kid that was being bullied, he was a lot younger, super younger. And when I saw this video, I thought the majority of the people were going to be reacting a specific way. But when I saw the comments, it was the total opposite.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and play it so you guys can watch and so you guys can see how the dad reacted.
Yeah, that's my son. You can't say. You can't say that one to my son, okay?
Okay, bye-bye.
So I couldn't really tell exactly what she said, but by the response of everybody, like all the other kids in the background, they all started laughing, right? And from what I read in the comments, it said something along the lines that I think she almost like mocked the dad, like, okay, bye-bye, or something like okay, like disregarding the dad after the dad is talking to her like, hey, don't be bullying my son, and she completely disregarded it, and that's when the father slapped the little girl.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna play it once again.
That's my son. You can't say. You can't say that one to my son, okay?
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, I don't know if you heard that. Somebody said, call the cops right now. And so what are your thoughts with that? When you watched this initially, what were your thoughts?
Initially, well, I was like, why is he slapping the girl, you know, because it's not his daughter.
Right.
But at the same time, if I was in that like guy's shoes or that father's shoes, I think I would have done the same because I wouldn't want my son or daughter to get bullied.
Right. I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, oh, like, man, everybody's going to come after the dad, right? Just because like, oh, like, why'd you do that? Especially to a little girl.
Yeah.
So I was thinking the same thing, like, oh man, like I get it, right? Same thing because one, your kid is being bullied by an older kid. So you're already heated. Your blood is boiling, right? And now when you come and talk to this kid, you can see that she's completely disrespectful and she does it right in front of you. It almost seemed like just like a quick reaction, like without even putting much thought about it, just he reacted because of anger.
Yeah.
Right? But then when I started reading the comments, it was a total opposite reaction.
Yeah, I read the comments and everybody was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you, or you did the right thing.
Yeah. And I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. And I don't think you were expecting the same thing, or were you?
I mean, I was trying to put myself in like both sides. But at the same time, you know, if that was my son or daughter getting bullied, I would feel the same way. Especially if he comes and he tries to talk to the little girl to make her understand, and she's taking it like,
okay, so now I'm gonna flip it on you. Okay, so what if you're the mom of the little girl and she's the bully and this older man slaps her daughter?
I wouldn't like it, but it just depends because my kids are not rude to
I get it.
Yeah.
You're the mom of this girl that got slapped by an older man. Then what?
I wouldn't like it. Don't touch my kids.
Right. Exactly, right? So it's tough.
It's tough.
Because, obviously you wouldn't like it. But because it's like, because I was thinking of both situations, like, oh man, like he shouldn't have reacted like that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey man, like if there's an issue, come and talk to me, to the dad, right? Hey, like
you
I'm
also don't know if he tried talking to the school or to the other parents.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And then nobody listened, right? Has that ever happened to you by any chance?
Yeah, when the whole situation with Angel happened.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to the other kids' parents, and the principal didn't want that to happen. Yeah.
So it almost feels like, hey, you're trying to go different routes and to trying to solve the situation.
Yeah.
But then you're not getting any help or assistance.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, so I see both sides, right? As a father, if this older kid is bullying my way younger son or daughter, and you seeing like they're being disrespectful in front of me, like right there and then, like I said, it almost seemed like it was a quick just reaction without thinking, and he just reacted that way.
Yeah.
Right. So I get it, right? Because your blood is boiling. There's a bunch of kids just laughing at you. You just react, right?
Yeah.
Without thinking. And then I also see it like if I was in the other side, that I would have been like, hey, man, you're not going to be slapping a kid.
Yeah.
Come and talk to me. Like, if there's an issue, I'll handle it from my own side. But, like, I think before the podcast, I was mentioning that, and I'm not sure if this is the exact saying, but there was a saying along the lines that I think this is a Mexican saying, but the way it went, it was, if you're misbehaving somewhere, anybody out there in the street is going to be your parent. Pretty much that anybody has the right to discipline you, whether it's like scolding you or even hitting you. But you said that you had never heard about this before. No. Really? Mm-hmm. And this is the thing, that because obviously if you're a parent and you're teaching your kids specific morals and disciplines and they're not listening to you, then guess what? You're facing the real world, the reality of things. So now it's like, hey, you didn't listen to me. So now guess what? An adult out there in the real world is going to have to come and do that for you.
I'm sure my parents wouldn't like anybody touching me.
So, okay. So now do you see both sides?
I do.
So now when you put rational to this video, what are your thoughts then?
I mean, I don't know what the situation is between these two kids. I'm not sure if the dad went to counseling, because that's where I would have started. You know, I would have gone to the counseling and the counselor to tell her what happened.
Yeah. So you would have tried to solve things first.
Yes.
Okay. And if you're not getting the help,
then I'll tell my kid to kick his ass.
But the kid is a lot younger though.
Okay.
Get a cousin.
Jump him.
Yeah.
No.
Get somebody else around their age to fight him.
I don't know.
Well, yeah. What would you do? I think I would react the same way.
I would try to talk to the other parents.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure. I think so too. Like, and now if they're not getting the hang of it, then, or if the kid is not listening or the parents are disregarding it, then it's now the parents' issues. Yeah. Right? Do you agree? Yeah. Like, hey, me cabrón. You're not listening to me. Yeah. I'm telling you, your kid is being disrespectful and bullying my kid. Yeah. You're not doing anything, or they're not listening to you, then guess what? You and I have a problem now. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. You agree with that? Yes. I also agree with that. I hope and I pray I never have to go into that type of scenario. But I think that would probably be the best case. So you wouldn't be slapping a kid? I wouldn't. I wouldn't touch other people's kids because I don't want anybody touching my kids. But yeah, I would start with school. Yeah. Okay. And then if because there's some counselors that they just pretend they listen to you. Yeah. So then I would go to the district. Okay. I would write a letter to the district. Yeah. But that's if it happened at school, though. Mm-hmm. But what if it happened in the street? You would just go straight to the parent. Yeah, I would go straight to the parent. Okay. Would you get like the cops involved or something or no? I mean, if they don't listen, yeah. I think if I remember correctly, like I mentioned right now, they said, oh, call the cops. And I think there was the cops and the ambulance showed up for this incident. And what happened after? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what the end result was, but here, let's read some of the comments and see what they said. So the first comment with 70,000 likes, it said, oh my God, is the dad's hand okay? So 70,000 people agreed to this, that pretty much they agreed with the behavior of the dad slapping this little girl, right? Because he's just I'm sure she learned her lesson. That's for sure, right? that's for sure. So I think that, and that's being the top comment, right? So I think a lot of people agree with that. So then the next one is the second to that. It says, call the cops for what? I will slap anyone who bullies my kid, right? So this other person is looking at it the same way, like, hey, you're not going to be like freaking bullying my kid. Yeah. Because, and we'll get into it right now, but there's been other cases that kids get bullied, and unfortunate the outcome of that, it's a very, very drastic outcome. Mm-hmm. And you don't want your kid to even think or go to that extreme. Yeah. And what I mean by that, it's some kids get so depressed that they end up taking their own life. And
Yeah, and that's sad too.
Yeah.
We also have to teach our kids not to bully other kids.
Yeah, I agree. Do you talk to them about that?
Yeah.
Well, what do you tell them?
They better not be bullying anyone or you're
Yeah.
going to get it.
Yeah. You see, then another, yeah, exactly. Then there's another one that says, and this is exactly what I was saying, but it was a Mexican quote, I guess, that I had heard, or because I'm Mexican, I heard it from the Mexican family. But it says, if you don't teach your children respect, someone else will.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I was saying. Like, if they're not obviously listening to the parents, if they're acting this way, then it pretty much means that they're disregarding what the parents are already telling them.
I also saw this video on TikTok. I think the mom took away, I'm not sure if it was the iPhone or the iPad. And then the kid started breaking everything in the house.
The kids started breaking everything in
Yeah.
the house? What the heck?
He broke like the TV, like he just made a big
What
mess
the
in
heck?
the house. So that makes me think that kids are not getting disciplined the way that we did back then.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. So when they're not listening to you, then what? Not knock on wood, right? But let's say you're trying to teach them the right things, I guess the way that you were brought up, you're trying to teach them all these different things, like, hey, be a good person and do this and do that. But if what happens if they're not listening to you and then they act out like that?
Me los chingo.
But there's times when kids, they even rebel after you hit them. Then what?
I don't know.
Right? Because it's not funny, but it's crazy because there was an incident in San Diego just recently, and we'll get into that right now, that had a similar outcome. Not an outcome, but there was a similar situation that ended up in a tragic situation that I think it had to do with that. I think the mom was trying to help out the kid or her son, and it ended up very drastic, and we'll get into that right now. But
Here?
yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but last comments before we change into that is, girl try to be funny, the laughter stopped real quick.
Yeah.
Does he have a GoFundMe? I would like to donate for lawyer costs in case he catches a charge. So everybody, the majority of people were agreeing with the father's reaction. But this is the thing though, like we were talking right now, I think the storyline or your response changes if the kid being the bully is your son or daughter.
Yeah.
Right? Because now you're like don't hit them, come talk to me.
Yeah, don't hit them, but at the same time, they deserve it. But also, I tell my kids to be respectful to their elders.
Yeah.
So I know that my son or my daughter won't talk back.
Yeah. True. And well, the case that I was mentioning, so let me pull this up. And it was pretty much so the way that I saw it in the news, it was son arrested for murder after officials discovered mother's body in trunk. Did you hear about this?
Oh, yeah. That he was stopped, right? He crashed.
Yeah, and this happened here in San Diego. I think it was in El Cajon city, I believe. And this is pretty much what happened.
Jameson Webster came to this
Is he white?
Motel 6.
He had like a Latino
Motel
last
6
name, right?
yesterday
Yeah.
to drop some items off. Jameson Webster came to this Motel 6 yesterday to drop some items off for her son. Sources tell me he was staying here after leaving a mental health facility on the same day he was admitted.
Okay, so apparently this guy, this teen, he had just left a mental health facility, and this is when this case happened, or this incident happened.
Police say 24-year-old Richard Leyva killed his mom and then put her body in the trunk of a car.
Jameson was just such a great person. She always a smile.
Karen Saunders just saw Jameson last week, and they talked about her struggles with Richard and his mental health.
I kind of wish I hadn't said to her, you know, all we can do is keep trying. Maybe I should have told her, don't try. Let him go, you know, maybe she'd still be here.
Police
Okay, so what do you think about that? Exactly what she said. Obviously, he was in a mental health facility, right?
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like the mom was looking out and seeking help for her son,
Mm-hmm.
and the person helping the mom out, and this guy, they just told him like, "Hey, keep trying, like let's see if he like starts getting the like making sense of reality or whatnot." But look at the outcome. He killed his mom.
Yeah.
So what if like a kid is not understanding or like listening to you? Then what? What do you do? Because a lot of times people, if you know your son or your daughter are doing things bad, at times you want to protect them. You don't want them to go to jail. You don't want them to end up in those type of places.
But at the same time, I think you get to a point where you try to help them in so many ways, but they don't want the help. So
True.
I think you should just stop. And as a mom, it does hurt, but also you have to realize that they don't want it. They don't want the help.
Yeah, because at times those type of locations, like going to jail or all those like different outcomes, at times it ends up helping them, and then they finally get it. Like, and then it's almost like that tough love. Like, hey, I'm sorry. Like, you were always right for trying to help me, and now I get it, right? Because a lot of people that go through this type of situations, they ended up realizing that they were in the wrong. So at times, instead of trying to help them in this way and trying to like put up with all these different things, that at times you have to let reality sink in.
Yeah, like the conversation that you were having last week, the episode.
Yeah.
I watched the episode with my son, and I told him, I was like, if you ever kill someone, I'm gonna call the cops on you. Like, I'm not gonna be on your side.
Yeah, and she's talking about that Gabby Petito incident case. Yeah, because the mom of Brian, the laundry, had told him like, hey, whatever you do, I pretty much have your back.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's continue watching.
Richard's older brother came to the hotel because he hadn't heard from his mom for a while and found her dead in the trunk of her own car.
That's
Richard
crazy.
then got in the car and drove away. His brother called police, who spotted the vehicle right away, leading to a chase and a crash on Mollison under the 8. Police then tased him before placing him in handcuffs.
I raised it. We've been together for a long time.
Mike Webster and Jameson were married for more than 15 years before recently separating. He says they had to call police on Richard multiple times.
He was always just like a little off. We had to collect all the knives in the apartment that we were living in and put them away just because of our own safety.
Mike says he doesn't know what pushed Richard over the edge, leading to Jameson's murder. He calls the killing insane.
Hope he goes to prison for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
He took a great person's life.
Wow.
She'll give you anything that she can give you.
Jameson's friends agree.
Always such a smile and always so helpful to everyone, you know.
Wow,
Gonna be
that's
missed.
so sad.
Richard faces a first-degree murder charge and is being held without bail. Steve Price, CBS 8.
How can you kill your own?
Oh,
like-
shit. Sorry.
How can you kill your own parent? Like, you have to be crazy, regardless of what they do. How? Like, what goes through your mind?
Even just taking someone's life, right?
Yeah.
But then your own mother, dude?
Yeah. The one that has been there for you, like, been trying to help you.
Wow,
How?
dude. Freaking heartbreaking. Like apparently he was going through some mental issues. But it seemed like, I'm not sure if that was the father, but he said something along the lines that she would give anything for him. And look at the way that he paid her.
Yeah.
Freaking sad, dude.
You know, I know someone who killed somebody here.
What?
Yeah. I know someone who killed...
In San Diego?
Yeah.
What?
And the parents try to protect him and send him to Mexico. And then he ended up killing somebody over there.
In Mexico?
So now he's in jail.
In Mexico. What the heck?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
So he didn't, I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do that, but.
You know them personally, or? Why were they trying to protect him?
Because they loved him and he was a spoiled kid.
But that almost sounds like the Brian Laundrie case.
I know.
That's insane. Okay. We think it's insane. But when you think of like that situation as a father or a mother, you think it changes your perspective, because now even though you know that your son or your children, your kid did wrong, but now at the end of the day, it doesn't stop from them being your children, and you want to protect them.
Yeah.
It's tough, right? Wow. That's insane. Man, that's so tough, man.
And the mom doesn't want to believe that he did it. So she's trying to help him. But yeah, I have friends who have.
Wait. Okay, say that
The
again.
mom doesn't want to believe that he killed somebody over there too.
Okay.
So she's trying to like take him out of jail.
Mm.
But at the same time, he did it here.
So
now he did it in Mexico, and someone I know confirmed that he did do it.
Yeah.
But the mom still
trying to find the way out for her son.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's the exact same situation. Not exact, right? But it's a similar outcome of like they know that the person did wrong, but they still try to protect them.
Yeah. And that's something I wouldn't do. I told Angel and Natalie, if you ever kill someone, I'm calling the cops on you. Like, I'm not going to be protecting you. If you did something wrong, you're going to learn your lesson.
At the end, even though it hurts, but it's probably for the best of them.
Yeah.
Man, it's so tough. Knock on wood, man. Knock on wood. Yeah, dude. Oh, man, it's so tough. It's just the way you put things into perspective is you see your small baby, right, growing up, and you see them as and then they grow up, and you still see them as your babies.
Yeah, but I think it's also like the friendships that they have.
That's true. You know? That's true.
And I always make sure to tell my kids like all these gang members, they're trying to act cool. They're not. Yeah. So
you think that was related to gangs?
What?
That incident, or why do you bring up gangs?
No, I'm just saying, like, because right now gangs are coming back. I see more like taggings, yeah, on the walls and things like that. Yeah. So I make sure my son knows, like, you're not cool. You're not cool if you're in a gang. Yeah. Like, stop it. Yeah. Because he also told me about this little kid that's in his classroom that he's sagging and he's throwing like gang signs, and I'm like, that kid's stupid.
I don't understand how gangs are still around, dude. Yes. I don't freaking get it. Why? Dude, you're claiming a block.
Is that even yours?
Dude, I don't freaking get it, man.
Yeah.
You would figure that with time passing by, that would fade away. But it just continues going generation after generation.
Yeah. Stupid. Yeah. To me, it's stupid. Yeah. Like, I never wanted to go out with a gangster, like, since I was young. Yeah. I remember that I didn't like gangsters. I was like, oh, you guys are stupid. Like.
Yeah. And I grew up with a lot of people in different crews and gangs, and fine, right? And I liked them as who the person was, but I was never in agreement with that whole environment.
But also you have to realize a lot of this, like, kids that get into gangs, they're not getting the attention at home.
Yeah.
Like, maybe their parents are not there for them. Maybe being with that group makes them feel better.
Like they have a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I heard about that too. Yeah, because of the upbringing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's sad. Like, we have to be there for our kids.
For sure. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like me being a father now is just like, I try to, obviously, I'm not rich or anything like that, right? But I try to, like, obviously when my daughter was born, I try to be at least one level higher than the way that I was brought up, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least now she's going to grow up with both of her parents together in a household. She's going to have her own room, right? Like a backyard, like in a decent.
But you also have to teach her that if she's not happy when she grows up, she doesn't have to stay with that guy that is not treating her right. Because
True.
That's what I tell my kids.
Because
that was my thought.
Yeah.
Before, when I was with their dad, I didn't want my family to be broken. But then I realized, like, I'm not happy. Like, my kids are not seeing a happy mom. Like, what am I doing here?
Right.
So that's what I make sure to tell my son. And now that I'm with my boyfriend now, like, he's so close to my son. Like, he talks to both of them. And, and even my kids, they see pictures of me before. And they both agree that they're like, Mom, you look depressed before. Like,
oh, really?
You don't look like the same person.
Wow.
So sometimes my boyfriend jokes around and he's like, do you want your mom and your dad to be together? And they're like, no. My mom wasn't happy.
Yeah.
So they understand.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. So you also want your daughter to know that.
Of course. Yeah, because a lot of people see that as a bad thing when the parents or they divorce or anything like that. And a lot of times people are still together for their kids, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you should be looking out for yourself first in order for you to be 100% complete and be in a healthy place inside of you in order to be to teach and mold your kids to be the best versions of themselves. Because let's say if you're not happy with a specific relationship, what exactly you're teaching your son or daughter, like, hey, you have to stick through it even though you're not happy? And that makes no sense either.
And even my oldest, before I broke up with her dad, she was the one that told me, like, Mom, what are you doing with him? Like, he doesn't help you. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. And that was when I was like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, to finally click that even they were able to see it.
Mm-hmm. Especially, she was already, what, like 9, 10?
Yeah.
So she was able to see that I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that example for her.
True. Does all of these different situations change the way you want to, like, teach your kids or tell them certain things? Like, for instance, the bullying, or if they don't act right later on in life, does that change your perspective anything? Or you feel like you've been, like, helping them mold into good people so that they don't have to go through this?
I think now it has changed a little bit.
In what sense?
That they have to be independent.
Okay.
I want them to be independent. I don't want them to depend on me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'll help you.
Yeah.
But it gets to a point where you have to learn. You have to learn, do it yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not always going to be there for you, because what if I die tomorrow?
Right.
You don't know.
You know what I want to teach my daughter? And I don't know, like, and I would like to hear your perspective, right? I want to teach her the basics in anything, right? Like, I don't want her to be like, and if she is, right? But I was going to say of being a tomboy or whatever. But me as a man, I want to teach her the basics of, like, if she wants to hang a picture frame on the wall, that she can do it. If she wants to do like the very, very basics on like doing household things, right? Because
like a man.
Right. The basic necessities that she doesn't need a man to come and like do the basic things around the house. Like that you can do like she has to
I just
understand.
painted my kitchen.
Yeah, that's a good point. That you don't need anybody to come like do painting because that's a man thing or any of that. Like all the what I'm trying to say, like you know how like there's a lot of different like tasks or chores that usually a man takes over, but like even like hanging a picture on the wall, it's something so simple, but at times people don't or women, the majority of women that I know at least, they don't even know how to read the measuring tape. And I want to teach her how to do that. Like, hey, this is
good.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. And I'm the same way with both of my daughter and my son. Like he needs to help me how to do he needs to help me with laundry or cooking, even if that's whatever, like, you know, a woman's job. Yeah. He has to do it too.
Even putting air in your tires. A lot of women don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Like
or gas.
Yeah. I think that's pushing it. Yeah.
There's some that don't know how to do it.
Really? Do you know how to read a measuring tape?
Yes.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna test you. Dude, I wish I had a measuring tape here so I can bring it out. Be like, oh, what's this? Okay, so within an inch, I was gonna make a joke. So within an inch, there's what after an inch? What? How many? Like
I no say.
Okay, you see, like so usually an inch is divided in 30 seconds or in 4 quarters and half, and then you have your quarter inch, eighth of an inch, like little things like that. And I just want to teach her how an inch is broken out, that in case she wants to like I said, like take a measuring from one side of the wall to the other, and she can find the stud, right, a wooden, the basics, dude, the basics. And it's basic math.
Yeah. It's
crazy that the school system doesn't teach you these things. Right? Yeah. I feel like
I agree.
Like you deal with these things on a daily basis. They should teach you how to survive in the real world.
They don't even teach you how to like accounting.
Like doing your own taxes.
Yeah. That's why a lot of kids, they're in so much debt.
Big time.
Yeah.
Even going to school, why does it cost you so much freaking money? Right? Like, obviously, if you're trying to go to school, if you're trying to better yourself, at the end of the day, you're trying to become a good citizen for society. So why should it cost you so much? Because then at the end of the day, now you're in debt. It's taking you so much just to, like, be a good citizen to society.
But you get in debt, like, you know, you go to school, get in debt, and then get a job to pay all the debt that you owe.
And at times,
it doesn't make sense.
And at times you don't even get a job in that field that you went to school for. And now you just have to pay all this freaking amount of money that you don't have.
Yeah. I always tell my kids, you don't have to go to college.
I agree. I 100% agree. I'm glad. Is there anything that you think otherwise from me or see things differently?
I think we think this same thing.
Yeah, but it's and I think by the looks of it in the comments, they're around the same page. But I think the only thing that we both agree on is like when it comes down to that one incident, is like, and we don't know the full story, but maybe he did talk to the other parents and they didn't answer. But
yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, just so many different things. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to prepare my daughter to the best of my ability. Like the basic tasks I want to know that she can do on her own.
Yeah. You also have to teach her if there's a problem, for her to be comfortable talking to you, because a lot of kids are scared.
True. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
And I make sure to tell my kids, I'm like, sometimes you're going to be wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make sure you know.
Or embarrassed.
But
yeah,
if they don't trust me, then somebody else is going to tell them something else. And that's what I always tell them. I'm like, just feel comfortable coming to me.
Yeah.
If there's a problem, if you have a question, anything,
Yeah.
And I think my kids are really close to me. That they always tell me anything that happens in school.
That's good. And any final words that you have in regards to these cases? I think that was it. I don't know if I had another video.
No, the other girl.
Oh, that's right. Going back to that. Oh, that's a very good point. I almost forgot, dude. So you know how we reacted to the video about the dad slapping the other girl for bullying the kid. I saw in other comments that they were saying like it's a good thing because the dad reacted this way because he's only looking out for his son's mental state of mind. Because not too long ago, I think this happened like 2-3 weeks ago, that this young little girl ended up taking her own life because she was bullying about her family's citizenship. Yeah. Did you hear about that?
Yes, I heard she was getting bullied by the kids in school, and they were telling her that her parents were going to get deported and she was going to stay here by herself. And me, being in like a similar situation, it's really sad and heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's so sad. Here, let me play this.
An 11-year-old girl has tragically taken her own life after being bullied at school over her family's immigration status.
So sad.
Jocelyn Rojo Carranza was found unresponsive at home and passed away 5 days later. Her mother claimed that students at her Texas school mocked her and even threatened to call the immigration to take her parents away.
So apparently the kids were like, oh man, kids are so freaking...
They're cruel.
They're so cruel, dude. Oh man, dude, it's heartbreaking. I look at everything so different now that I have a daughter, dude.
She says the school knew about the bullying but never told her, and only after Jocelyn's death did she learn that her daughter had been receiving counselling. The school district says it takes bullying reports seriously, but Jocelyn's family is demanding justice, saying her death could have been prevented. Her funeral was held at the church where she was baptized, as her devastated family now wait for answers. An 11-year...
Oh my God.
11 years old, dude. Yeah. That's so sad, dude. No. Yeah, dude, freaking heartbreaking, man. Like, and the school system freaking knew about this, you know? I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, paper.
Hmm?
Oh,
Yeah.
Paper.
Yeah, I have Kleenex right there.
Okay.
Dude, just imagine, dude, the mental state that you have to be to get to that point.
Yeah.
And the thing is that the school knew, right? But at times people or the system or whoever works at the schools,
they just don't oversee it. They don't think it's like a big problem
until it's too late. That sucks. So that's why I think a lot of people in the comment section reacted to the way they did, right? That they know the severity on what words can do to somebody, especially a kid. Especially a kid. Yeah, so freaking sad. I think the best as parents can do is just be involved in the children's life, and at the end of the day, we're their protectors, dude. Yeah.
Like my kids, they're like, "Mom, are they gonna take you to Mexico?"
Yeah.
They're all happy. No, but I always make sure that I talk to my kids and they know that nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That we're always gonna be together.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why the little girl didn't tell their parents what was happening in school. But it's sad that the school knew and they didn't do anything about it.
Yeah. Man.
And yeah, ever since I was little, like my dad would talk to me and he would always tell me like, because of my status, he's like, nadie es mejor que tú. Like, tú puedes hacer lo mismo que cualquier persona que tiene papeles o lo que sea.
Wow.
So he made sure I knew.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very important.
And that was always in my head. Like just because you have papers and I don't, like, doesn't make you better.
Yeah.
And now that I have my business and, like, you know, I'm making good money, I'm like, my dad was right. And he would always tell me, like, he's like, just be good in school, get good grades, be a good, like, person. He's like, I know there's going to be something that's going to help you.
Yeah.
And, like, with the DACA and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful message. Because at times, a lot of people that don't have the same rights as others or the same upbringing as others, you feel a little bit less than the people that do have papers or do have other privileges.
And I was never embarrassed for people to know that I didn't have papers.
Yeah.
Like, and to this day, like, I still don't feel that I'm worth less than anybody else.
Yeah.
And I talk to my clients, and they have seen the episode where I say that I have DACA, and they're like, just keep going, like, you know, you're doing a great job. And so it's very, very nice for them to tell me those words.
Yeah.
And then me having that client, he's a border patrol.
Yeah.
So he's always like, I'm not gonna let anybody like take you, like, you're a good person, blah, blah, blah. Like, he sends me messages. It's
cool.
Cute. Yeah.
You know that aside from what your dad said, right? This message always, like, not that I was told this, but I always have this reminder inside of me, right? That whenever there's times when I'm just like maybe walking, and for some reason, like, I'm walking with my head down, right? Maybe I'm just thinking of different things. But then this thought comes to mind, like, hey, Angel, like raise your head up, walk with your head up high, and you're no less than anybody. And whether you're in rooms with other people that might have a higher education or whatnot, you're still in the same room as them. So walk with your head up high and know that you're at the same level and nobody's higher or lower than you.
Yeah.
So I think that message that your dad told you, it's a beautiful message, and I'm glad you still remember it till this day.
And that's the same thing I tell my son. And right now that he's doing boxing, I'm like, nobody's better than you. Like, you just keep training, like, you're gonna get better and better.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't ever feel that you're less than anybody else.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Yeah. Well, what's going to be the emoji for this episode?
The peace sign.
Yeah. Okay, let's say peace sign and some hearts, man. Yeah, peace sign and some hearts. All right. Any final words? No.
There's been a few people that have sent me messages regarding the last video that I posted, where I said, like, just keep going. That is, I don't know if you saw it, but I mean, if you have a dream, keep going. Don't stop. Don't let anybody make you think that you're not worth it.
Yeah. That's a good message.
Yeah.
Cool. I think we'll end it with that. And just like yourself, myself, and man, just keep striving for your goals and dreams. You never know if you never tried.
And you know, like, sometimes we send each other messages or videos.
Yeah.
Like, just keep going. Like, we push each other. So it's very nice to have someone with the same mindset.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that, like, other people that are, like, they envious or.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Cool. Well, Joanna, thank you once again. I think it was a good episode, a good reminder, and yeah, just keep trying to be a good person at the end of the day, right?
Take care of your kids.
Yeah. At the end of the day, just try to be a good person. You never know what the other person next to you might be going through.
Yeah. Talk to your kids. Make sure that they're okay. Any problems, they can come to you and talk to you.
Yeah. All right. Like I always like to say, it's a greater risk, not taking risk. My name is Angel Houseman. Subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
And we have Joanna. Cool. All right. Till next time.
Hoy no más.